want to tell this fucking story anymore. This fucking trans trauma. We know that story. It's always there. Like, where's the story of the people who are really just living life?
Well, no, because I was switching to don't forget about the verses and the switching.
My name is Lisa Stephen Friday. I am an artist, musician, actor, and I guess I'm a writer now since I wrote a play. I'm still getting used to saying that. I was born in Georgia, but I say that I'm from New York now. I decided to move to New York City in 1993, 2 years after I'd graduated from high school, because I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be on Broadway. I would dress privately in my house, in my apartment. I lived by myself in New York at this time. But I was so closeted. I mean, I had like some random clothing that I'd maybe gotten the courage to buy somewhere, but it could even just be like a goddamn pillowcase that I cut that I could make like a little mini skirt out of it. As I transitioned, my existence in the theater became very limited. No one was gonna cast a trans woman, even as a trans character at that point. I mean, you just weren't seen as a legitimate performer or artist. And that's what drove me into, or led me to being in a rock and roll band. But it actually turned out to be the greatest thing ever, because it's, not only did I exist there, I thrived there. Lisa Jackson and Girl Friday started as a cover band when I was just tiptoeing out of the closet, still identifying as a cross-dresser, the words we used at that time. And then it just kind of started to develop as I transitioned. The band transitioned into, you know, a trans voice, because I was writing about what I was going through. And we became kind of a staple of the downtown scene.
How y'all doing tonight? Yeah? You feeling good? Y'all ready to have a little tea?
But, you know, privately it was such a struggle because I did not have a community around me that understood me. I had very supportive friends, but they didn't know how to talk to me about what was going on inside, because they didn't know what was going on inside. And I didn't have like peers or elders who were also trans to walk through that with me. So it was lonely in that aspect. So it's important for me to tell my story because we don't have a lot of trans history at all. And so when a 20-year-old is watching my show of something that happened in the late 90s into the early 2000s, that's a long ass time ago for them. It reflects to them the progress that we're making, but it also reflects to them that the things that I were going through, we are still going through them. There's a lot of joy in my show, there's a lot of hope in my show, but I think there's a lot of reality in my show too. I don't need to talk about my story in a way that like explains who I am. It's not a battle anymore. With rock and roll, it was kind of like me against the world, and it was my way to come out. Now with Trans Am, it's about me taking all my history now, a quarter of a century as walking through this world as a trans woman, and using that voice that I have now, the voice that has been thoroughly informed of who I am and very aware of what's going on in the world, and using my experience and my history to bring light to the trans experience.
I think that we are at the real breakthrough for trans people in modern society.
Trans power is in the trans community. Having each other, seeing each other, coming together is a power that is unstoppable.
And so, you wanna see my life, the choices I was given, the choices I survived. And so, you think you wanna stick around, see if you can hold out. Watch me turn.